channel. I am live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? I have to wait for you all. My hair is a little wet, so it doesn't look as beautiful as it should be. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm going to talk about why I missed last week. That is because I was at CPAC, Japan. They have it annually in Tokyo, and this time though we had this forum in Fukuoka. Like I was the organizer here, and we had a different event. It was a forum about the human rights of North Koreans in North Korea, which we never talk about somehow. So. Yeah, we invited this man that fled from North Korea in 2005, and followed by his wife and children, I think, later. But yeah, he lives in Japan right now, and we invited him to be the speaker. We had somebody else to speak, like as to assist him basically, and I was the moderator. And kindly, the Koreans in Japan, they have a group here, that represent the country, South Korea, and they helped a lot to have that event. And the picture that we wanted to make politically was that Japanese in Japan and South Koreans in Japan get together and think about the human rights in North Korea together. And I believe it's really, really powerful, right? Because like communist type of people, or even North Korea, they want to cut the ties between Japan and South Korea all the time. They campaign it all the time to separate us. But now we are together. It's not an easy thing, especially for South Koreans, I think, because they have all this accumulated emotions historically against Japan. But they were kind enough to have this event together, so I was really, really thankful, and it got onto our newspaper as well. There's my husband is right in front of me, by the way. It got onto Yomiuri Shimbun, and I think there will be a few more that will cover them, right? Yeah, so things like that. I feel like there was something else to talk about North Korea. Yeah, it's because we held it around last week, because Japan has set the week for like a human rights, like what's the name? Like Enlightenment Week? Let me look it up. Jingle. How do you say that in English? 北朝鮮人権啓発週間、英語 This is what I do all the time. Like I have to look it up, like Japanese word, eigo, like English. North Korean Human Rights Violation Issue Awareness Week. Okay. North Korean Human Rights Abuses Awareness Week. Yes, that's a thing here. So it's easier to have events like that when we have, that sort of week. Right, so that media, for mainstream media, it's easier for them to write about it. So that's what we did. And the following day was CPAC in Japan, in Tokyo. And we didn't know if we could go until the last minute. But yeah, we decided to go. And I only slept for 40 minutes the night before CPAC. So like at the CPAC, I was like, I'm so sleepy, And I looked awful, because you need beauty sleep. But anyway, in the meantime, you guys came here. Hello, how are you? I was out of the country last week anyway. Oh, you were? Where did you go? Yeah, your travel photos are great. Thank you. Yeah, last week we went to Tokyo. I also finally published the photos and footage all together. Like I combined all the records of our Taiwan trip. We went to Taiwan in September to attend a forum of, like, it's called Free Nations of Post-Russia Forum. And we went there and I took a bunch of photos and videos, and I didn't know how to do, like, what to do with them. I was gonna post it on Instagram, but I'm too lazy. Like, I want to edit the colors and so on. So, like, I was too lazy to post. Finally, I published that. I hope you guys saw that. Oh, super chat. Thank you. What do you think of the Honda Nissan merger? Can I talk about something silly in the at first? Japanese people were wondering what the merger company will be called. Because, like, if you combine Nissan and Honda, then it would be like Nihon, like Nippon, Japan. Anyway, it was on the newspaper here too. I don't exactly know what is happening. Let's see. どう思いますか、日産とホンダのなんか話。They're just gonna do it, right? そうなりますよっていう。Yeah. It's just gonna happen, and we don't know what to say. Messy newspaper. Yeah, after gone, right? Or even gone. Yeah, like Nissan has not been doing well. So this is Honda, Nissan talk. Chinese business, both companies crying? I don't know how to translate that. Oh, this is a former guy. That guy, the problematic guy, gone. Yeah. I'm not actually following that. Wow, they lost like 50% over the past 5 years? That's crazy. Like, all these Chinese EV, like electronic vehicles, are crazy because they know that they're gonna produce like excessively. They know it, and then they're like, oh, we have too many cars. We're gonna sell it overseas because there are too many, and they sell it for cheaper, right? So that American companies and also Japanese companies, like, we have a hard time. I was delivering Christmas gifts in Mexico? Cool. Isn't it dangerous in Mexico, though? Like, I was so scared. Didn't people die for the election there? But that's good that you can go there. When I was watching Selling Sunset, this this TV series called, like, Netflix series, Selling Sunset. It's about real estate and this, like, gorgeous ladies, like really high maintenance type of, like, very tall, skinny, massive makeup type of, like, big boobs kind of ladies sell expensive real estate in the show. But they had a vacation and went to Mexico, and it was so nice. The view and everything was nice there. But I bet that Mexico has different areas. Japanese manufacturers have always done well on the west coast of the US, but Tesla is selling a lot on the west coast, and Hyundai is doing very well. Oh, lots of competitions, right? I don't know. The yen is weak right now, and I hear the exports are doing well, but still the competitions, including China, have been very difficult, I hear. And especially because Chinese, they attack you with numbers, right? Like they have a lot of people and they have a lot of ways, like they can produce a lot of merchandise, whatever the genre is. And they basically get in the way of your prices because they are cheaper and their quality is not as bad as before. Hello from Australia. Hello. Hello, hello. Konbanwa. Long time no watching. Really? Has it been a long time? Yeah. Why so late? Because I am that kind of person. Sorry. And sorry for missing last week too. But I get to go to CPAC and I met Mr. Chairman Matt Schulap. So that was cool. I've been meeting him every year, except for a few COVID years, I think. Maybe 2 years or so I didn't see him, but every year I am seeing him. So that's crazy when you think about it. Because he visits Japan every year for CPAC. He's the chairman of ACU, so yeah. Oh, there was a time he broke his knee too. But anyway, so he couldn't come. But do you want to see Japanese newspaper? This is about some children, like abuses. They're trying to change the laws. And then social media addiction. Let's use this pen. Yeah. Social media countermeasures. They're thinking about it. International Symposium. Informative health on information. Because it's, yeah. So especially for like teenagers and so on, the brain is still developing and it becomes like the addiction becomes a problem. So yeah, I'm worried about them too. But like I myself, what do you guys think about social media and the age? Like there was it Roja? Or yeah, Sam Rogers is from Australia. In Australia, I heard that you guys banned social media platforms for people aged under 16, right? So that's cool. But me though, I began using the internet like every single day, starting at the age of 15. Like when I was using the internet a little bit before that too, but every day I began using it every day at the age of 15 to 16, like the first year of high school. I went into English chat rooms. Remember chat rooms? Like Yahoo chat rooms or MSN, Messenger, AOL messengers. And yeah, I had Yahoo, AOL, MSN. And both like Japanese and English version. I was such a nerd. But anyway, this one is saying this here, Trump senpai. Do you see Trump senpai like this angle? So Trump senpai and Akie Abe, wife of Shinzo Abe. China, Taiwan, big issue. Trump said to Ms. Akie Abe, Ukraine ceasefire repeatedly like showed the want. he wants to cease fire. So yep, Akie Abe went to see Trump. It is so great that Japan finally found a way to communicate with Trump because he was not willing to meet our current Prime Minister Ishiba. But because Akie Abe went to see him and had dinner, it was great because they all wore black clothes to probably to commemorate Abe, the past Shinzo Abe, So that was really thoughtful of them. And also Trump is the kind of person, like, we know that Trump listens to people carefully, and like he's the kind of person, he really listens, if you know what I mean. And so after that, after the dinner, Ishiba finally, like, so Trump had a press conference, and I guess that he answered the questions there or something. I don't know how it happened, but he said that he is willing to meet our current Prime Minister Ishiba. So we are so happy about it. And when it comes to things like this, now I post on X, like sharing the reactions of Japanese X users, what they're saying in reaction to the news like this. So if you haven't, follow me on X. Okay. Yawning. My husband is yawning right in front of me right now. He's bored out of my fantastic talk. What the hell? Lots of Toyota Tacomas. Can't read that. In Mexico. Toyota does well around the world with good quality. Cool. Like sometimes though they have like negative campaigns against Toyota. There was a time that there were these negative articles about Toyota cars, and it turned out to be like the source was coming from the New York Times, I think, but the writer was actually Japanese. So we're like, what? What is happening? Thank you. How's the Christmas weekend in Japan? Great. Huh? Oh, super chat. Oh, super chat. Nay, hello. Ohio. Your girl looks elegant as always. And is only 21. Forever 21. Thank you so much. I feel like I'm aging though, like so much. Like around here, man. Like here you get old easily. I have turned on this like effects to make my skin look smoothly. It looks so smoothly. Super Santa! You're my Santa! Oh, thank you. Merry Christmas! Happy Merry Christmas! Wait, do I still have? Oh, next week it will be over, right? This is the last. My husband saw the super chat like, oh, bring me the Christmas tree. ハズバンドさん、あれ持ってきて。I'm using him. Because I got this Merry Christmas super chat. Oh, I should have brought my hat. My hat is in the 5th drawer. I don't know where he went. Ta-da! Happy Merry Christmas, guys! I actually bought this with the super chat money a few years back. This part is somehow just paper, but this, oh, I wonder, oh, I have it up there. This has USB, so that's how you light this up. But I'm using my iPad right now, so I can't connect it. But yeah, yep. Christmas, man, what are you guys doing? Are you guys visiting the parents' house and so on? For me, like I was reading about Christmas. Christmas weekend in Japan is great. Did you guys see the photos I posted on X? There are like hundreds of Santa Claus figures, like big dolls, in the city. And yes, this is from Friday. Actually, it's dirty. Sorry, my screen is so dirty. You found my hat? This is me. This is Santa. See, that's me. Shiny car. What? Huh? Wait, I'm not Santa? I guess I'm not Santa. I have to draw him. This is cute though, right? It matches me. I look natural. I look so natural, don't you think? Okay, whatever. Oh, now I can be Santa too. Oh, that's not how it works. I gotta take it off first. Do you guys prepare like gifts for your friends, families, niece, and so on? It's too big. Like this part is too long, don't you think? Why is it so? I wonder it every time. Kentucky? Oh yeah. Should I eat Kentucky? If you, man, if you can give me super chat for Kentucky, I will go with my husband. Is it good enough? I don't know how to make it natural. I look like an elf. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Akie Abe still having a close relationship with Melania and President Trump? My thoughts, they're so high level, but they are good-hearted people, which is rare, I think. And they are like Trump and Melania, they are the type of people that cherish friendship, right? Like it's not superficial because often Americans, I have to say, well, not only Americans, but like people overseas, we have diplomatic relations with them, but it's often just ceremonial and often it's just superficial. But people like Trump and Melania are special. They really like truly cares, I'm making a fantastic speech and this is like not complimenting me. I look like an elf, not Santa. You'll be visiting with family? That's awesome. Is that your daily driver? Japan does Christmas decoration proper. Yeah, like we do it too much. I think that we are decorating more than America maybe. Like Christmas market everywhere and Christmas merchandises and this type of like, costumes and so on are sold everywhere. You see a lot of Christmas trees with Merry Christmas on it. And yeah. Yes, and Christmas parties. What happened? There was this post that was introducing what happens at Shinto shrine. They said like at the end of the year, Japanese people clean. Like we have deep cleaning at the end of the year to invite our deities to the next year. Like in New Year's days, we stay clean and also wear good clothes, like new ones, and also eat like gorgeous foods, like what you would eat in Thanksgiving and so on. Like it's massive foods, right? We do that on the New Year's days. And basically it's like we believe that if we spend the New Year days in a happy, clean, like an uplifting energy, then that will last throughout the year. So that's what we do. Why am I talking about it? I forgot. I'm in bed dying to sleep, but I must stay awake to see Yoko. Yes! Your last night on Earth. Don't leave yet! Good morning, Yoko. Good morning! Yoko has a big pointy brain. Back in the day, like if you see like conspiracy theory and so on, like, or Egyptian maybe, like they have a long head. That is very, very interesting to me. flop it to the side, not the front. Supposed to flop to the side. Oh, side, I guess. I need something to like, I guess, like some stuff, something to stuff this. Yeah. Yoko number one. Though you are a native Japanese person, your English skills is so close to an LA Japanese American accent. Really? Yeah. I guess I was influenced by like Californians because there was a time I was watching a lot of vlogs, you know. There's this woman named, her username is iJustine. Have you heard of her? iJustine. She still follows me. I've been on YouTube since 2006, and my first account was from 2006, and I began like I massively consumed YouTube videos like vlog type starting in 2008 or so, and I was listening to Californians all the time, so maybe that's why. I still like when I listen to my own English though, I still can hear my accent. I want to get rid of that because when I listen to like Japanese people, but those who have spent their time in the US, they sound completely different from me, and I'm like, oh, that's so sexy. American English is so beautiful, guys. You guys are so beautiful. And no offense to Australians or the British people. I want to imitate British accent. British accent. Accent. What should I say in a like British accent? Japan embraces the Christmas spirit. Yeah. The new US ambassador to Japan will be better than Rahm Emanuel. For sure. Yes. I'm not trying to be mean. I feel sorry for you guys because we are having the same problem with our births too, although America is bigger. America's population is triple times bigger than Japan. Our population is 1/3 of America. But that's kind of big though, when you think about it. Like, when you picture Japan in the map, it's tiny, but we have a big population. Yeah. iJustine's a big tech influencer. Yes. Follow iJustine. She's so beautiful. Like, she doesn't age. I don't know how she does it. She's 1 year older than me, I think. Yeah. Oh, and yesterday my husband and I watched the movie Dune. And it was interesting that I wrote about it casually on X and many people gave me replies, and I realized that it was a hit. Like, everybody saw it. So thank you for those who gave me replies. There was a question that I had, but some people kindly replied to that, like answered my questions. So that was cool. Trump is against Nippon purchasing U.S. steel. Yeah, what are Japan's thoughts on that? It is weird because U.S. steel wanted to sell, right? And Japan is like, okay, here's our generous deal. And then it got politicized. And both Biden and Trump were against it. But we were like, I thought, like, you know, we thought you guys wanted to sell. And they're like, yeah, American stuff, right? Like, America. We are just, I don't know, we are so lost. Like, what do you want to do, you know? Like, our deal should have saved the workers, but at the same time, Japanese people should have known it better that it was the close to the election, like it was in the election year, so they should have calculated that, right? So, why are you so bored? My husband is yawning in front of me. That is a no-no. Yeah. Cleanness is godliness. Yes, like in Japan, it said that we need to keep our places clean because it's other gods or deities love clean places. But when you compare that with science, though, like nowadays, like there's this genre that is combined of spirituality and science, right? Like metaphysics or whatever. Like they talk about frequency and, and that sort of stuff. And that actually resonates with what they're saying, like what we believe in, like clean places, good energy, and then they're saying the same thing, but scientifically. Japan is our greatest ally. Yes. But did you guys, I don't know how many of you saw it yesterday when I was on X, but this woman just came at me. Like I wrote a long post about how Americans are seeing in Japan. And I tried to be as objective as I could. And also I carefully chose my wording too, to make sure that I convey the accurate picture of Japan. And this woman just didn't like it, that I was kind of like, she took my sentence paragraphs as like a critical of America, I think. And she was like, you say you are pro-America, but you're criticizing us like this and that, and you're so blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know what she was saying, but she was so mad at me. And yeah, it was so crazy. Sometimes people don't understand that I'm a patriot in Japan, and I can be proud and protective of my country and simultaneously love America. Like, it can coexist, but some people don't get it. Like historically speaking, I see a lot of incidents back in the day, but what's important is that we have moved on, and like some people, hold on to the past, and others are thinking realistically and so on. But as I was talking to her, I realized that probably the real problem was that her pride just got in the way, because she probably doesn't think that Japanese people would, like, I would behave the way that I did, because what I'm trying to say is that I have to admit that when I was talking to some people from other Asian countries, not as developed as Japan, when I was talking to people from there, they had opinions about Japan. And I'm like, that kind of scratched my ego, like, huh? Excuse me? And then I realized that I was being a racist, in a way. I didn't think I was being a racist, but I guess that I was kind of being one against those people, because I didn't realize that they will have opinions against us. And somehow, like, it's so hard to explain this, but yeah. And then so like when I learned the pattern, like that can happen. And today, like when I look at other people from other countries commenting on Japan, and I say things back and so on, same things can happen, And so like I can tell when it's like that. It's so hard to explain. Sorry. You met a Karen. Yeah, like she wanted to criticize everything that I was saying. Oh, you're contradicting here and there. But the reality is that she had never met a Japanese person like me, because I am such a rare type. I'm actually the only conservative person in Japan. Entire Japan, as I said, we have a big population, but I'm the only person in Japan that is doing what I'm doing here, like talking to you guys in English. There are a lot of conservative people in Japan that speak or that understand high level English, right? But they just focus on their life because they are so professional, like they are in the academic field or journalism and so on, and they just mind their business, writing articles in Japanese, or sometimes maybe they publish articles in English. I don't know, but they just do their work and they don't do stuff like this. So, yeah. We do stupid things in the past, even me. You can love something but still see faults in it. But if someone else point out the faults, it feels like an attack against something you love. Yeah, I think that's the case. That was happening. Especially because I say, oh, I love America, and I can be critical. So that's like kind of, the person saw it as like a backstab or something. Kanji is hard, 難しい。難しいね。It's 難しい for us too. It is hard. Japanese language is difficult for us too. Let's see, what should I talk about? You must go? No! But you can fall asleep while listening to this live stream. They're talking about front page, Assad, dictatorship, 50 years, ending. Like on Sunday, it's Sunday here. We are ahead of you. So on Sundays, often we don't have much news. So I really think Japan is the only conservative country in Asia who preserve their culture and heritage. I really don't see those conservative acts in China, Korea, and Taiwan. Yeah. I mean, South Korean conservatives are fighting so hard, but the media is so corrupted that you don't get to hear about them. There are some accounts on X, for example, or I bet they have YouTube accounts too, but there are some like huge rallies going on in South Korea right now. More like both sides are doing it. So the martial law, right, happened. So Yoon in a way threatened democracy, right, with the martial law. But he did that, according to him, he did that because the National Assembly was paralyzed. And I can see that's true because I was hearing from my South Korean conservative friends that the election was actually stolen, and those like leftist National Diet members, they were parliament members, like they passed, the election, and they're like paralyzing the assembly. So in order to take back democracy, Yoon did that. And then there are in the city, both sides are protesting, one side attacking Yoon, the other side supporting Yoon, and the supporters of Yoon seem to have more like bigger numbers. And we don't get to hear about that because the media is bad, left biased, and also the world doesn't understand what is happening in South Korea, because they are judging South Korea by the superficial looks. So I feel really bad for South Koreans. But I think that for South Korea, is the geography is really, really bad. They're right next to China, and North Korea is out of hand, and they like to, appease to China and Russia. They're such a pet. And South Koreans are there on the peninsula trying to protect democracy, but many people are affected by North Korean manipulation, and also Chinese people too. They are, trying to infiltrate. I forget the word. Like they want to control South Korea. So, Merry Christmas, ho ho ho! Thank you. Merry Christmas. Oh, Super Chat. Thank you so much. Can you talk about the runaway youths going to Tokyo? Oh, our family household that bad. It's like Tokyo is like the Japanese version of American Dream. So even on my island, I live in Fukuoka. Fukuoka is located in this island called Kyushu. So Fukuoka and other prefectures, and from other prefectures on my island, people come to our cities from other areas from the island. Just like, from the entire Japan, people go from rural area to, they're from rural areas and they go to Tokyo. But just like that, on our island, we live in Fukuoka, and from other areas of Kyushu Island, people come. So our population is getting bigger and bigger. And in other places, it's declining. So I'm half of me, like my political side is happy about it because more people, more development, and the demands change. So we try to fix it by, taking care of our infrastructure and so on. We keep developing according to the big population or the shift inside the population. You know what I mean? But as a resident, I don't want more people to come. I don't want the prices to go up. I don't want crowded places. I liked my place because, of course, it's my hometown, but also it has been said that it's one of the cities in the entire world. Like, it's one of the best places to live in because it's a compact city. You have everything, but at the same time, there are not too many people. So it's urban, and also you can access to nature, but not many people. So like it's like not too many or too low. Too like they're not. Yeah. But now it's changing. So Happy Christmas, everyone. Happy Merry Christmas. Did you guys know that Jingle Bells, the song, is not actually a Christmas song originally? I was so shocked. Like, I was watching this show, like this Japanese show on TV, and he was explaining how Jingle Bells originally was a song to hit on women. It's crazy. Like, why did it become Christmas song? So interesting. Now the ground is why go it while you're young. Take that girls tonight and sing this sleighing song or whatever. That's the lyrics. Crazy. Take the girls tonight. That's the original song. I was so shocked. Good afternoon. How you guys? You forgot to mention the Chinese tourists in Tokyo. Yeah, I don't know. Surprisingly enough, my husband and I, we have Chinese friends in Japan because those Chinese people fled from communist China when the Tiananmen Square massacre happened. So they're from like they're above our age, older generation, but they fled from China and they're activists seeking for democracy, and they cooperate with us in political activities. So I am actually friends with Chinese people. But at the same time, though, when we have events with them, we get like counterparts, in a bad way. Like Chinese communists, they pay their students and so on and mobilize them to attack us. Like we would have a protest, right? For the human rights of Chinese people in China. And then CCP would prepare people to just, to celebrate CCP and so on, to basically attack what we are saying. So that's what we are dealing with. And also, in entire world, there are Chinese police stations. It's reported that, right? And in Japan, there are two places as far as we have as far as we know, and one is in Tokyo and the other is in Fukuoka, Japan. Maybe my husband is being watched because he's on the list of them. My husband was, working with the like independent type of people in Hong Kong. Like there were some Hong Kongers that wanted independence rather than democracy. They wanted to cut ties with China and just be independent fully. And so my husband and I, we were supporting them. And through that, because my husband has a lot of connections with our National Diet members, meaning parliament members, we were working on, like with the National Diet members and my husband, they were working together to pass the resolution to basically to condemn Chinese human rights oppression, and he did it successfully, right? Like we had to change some words around, but still like we made it happen and so on. So he was working on stuff like that, and my husband's name got onto the list of this like leak page, like a website where they have a lot of like Hong Konger activists, their address, phone number, and all other like private information, personal information. And then they had a group of like foreigners too, and my husband was listed there from Japan. So yeah. Yep, we are on a watch list. Wait until you learn what you are supposed to do under the mistletoe. Oh, like you have to kiss or wait? So like there's something above, and then if you kiss, then it's eternal. How does it work? Like I like Hallmark movies. There was a time that I was watching it like non-stop because they were available on YouTube. Somebody just uploaded it, so I was watching them. And often I would see that, like kissing under the thing. Konnichiwa, my MAGA Japan friend. Konnichiwa. My MAGA hat turned into a Santa hat today. If I do it like this, this will work. You would see it as this, yeah, like this is the correct way. And if you have it like, this is the right way. This is just so long. This is, I think we got this at like a dollar shop, so Watch list. This means you're really bad, Yoko. You'll be getting a lump of coal from Santa. Yeah. So we are watched, and also the forum that you guys don't like to support Ukraine. I know that, but as a Japanese national, we are, we stand with the Ukraine, and also there are a lot of, just like under China, there are Tibet, Uyghur, Southern Mongolia, and now Hong Kong and Taiwan is in danger. So Chinese colonization is strong, but same for Russia. Russia says like, oh, we are one nation, but they are actually colonizing all these nation states, and those nation states people, they want to get independent. So we are working with those people in this forum called Free Nations of Post-Russia Forum, and yeah, we are working with them, and the forum, the Free Nations of Post-Russia Forum, I think it was in December, November 17th or so, the Supreme Court in Russia declared that the forum is a terrorist organization. Am I a terrorist? Yeah, but the forum doesn't have structures like members and so on. We don't have executives or whatsoever. We just get together from all around the world and have a forum, speak up and so on, and post the videos online, and that's what we do. But yeah, both China and Russia, they hate us, but we just want them to stop all this human rights oppression, and also we don't want them to expand. That's what we are doing. What do you guys think will happen with, like, when Trump comes in? Like on this newspaper, it says that he just repeated, he showed it again that he wants to end the war in Ukraine, and also Taiwan. Did he mention Taiwan? Trump said that with Taiwan's emergency in mind, he said China and Taiwan are the big issue for the world peace. And then he implied or showed his like attitude, like policy, I don't know how to translate that, position to value Taiwan heavily. Man, I need to get better at translations. But that's good though that he is thinking about Taiwan. And Taiwanese side, even though, like, I feel like Taiwan should appeal to Trump in a different way. Like, they should just talk about the ambition of China, the Chinese dream. Do you know what Chinese dream is? The Chinese dream, like for Han tribe of China, is to conquer the earth, like split the ocean by Hawaii. Like the Pacific Ocean, according to them, is vast enough for both America and China to control. Basically, they want to split it, and then the American side America can have it, and China wants to have up until the point of Hawaii. That's what they want to do. So, but I guess America already knows the war or battle over hegemony, world hegemony. So that's good, but hopefully they can focus on the war soon. But Trump is not even inaugurated yet, but he is already affecting the world politics in a good way, like, right? Like, he is pressuring the European countries to boost their defense budget, which is good. They should have done it a long time ago, in my opinion. Over here to Taiwan, Trump Trump administration, like, how do you say that in English? They are, sometimes it's so hard to just darkly translate, Emphasis, importance, stress, stressed, I guess. They're stressing on that. Emphasis, serious consideration, Taiwan. So this is a lie. Taiwanese president lies aid. And then this newspaper interviewed this aide. And in order for America to be great again, they need Taiwan, he said. And they're talking about the supply chain and TSMC and so on. Did you guys see the news that I shared in reply to Elon Musk? That, if I remember correctly, 1 out of 50 people in Taiwan are like newborns or TSMC babies. Those workers at TSMC, they have a good birth rate, because because they are paid well, and also they have like a specified program so that the workers can both have babies and at the same time they can work. So that's great. I was surprised to see you met Steve Bannon years ago. Yeah, I did. What are your thoughts on everything he's been through lately? I'm not actually following his actions, but I'm aware that he has a YouTube channel. And I read about him, after meeting him. Like recently I read a book. I'm only halfway through though. I need to get the book again. But yeah, Steve Bannon's way of thinking was very, very America. So that was interesting to me. Like he doesn't even care about Ukraine much, right? But he does care, coming with the background he has militarily. He believes the protecting the strait, Taiwan Strait, is important for the U.S. survival. And also he was talking about the microchip too. So I think that's the standard American way of looking at things, and I have no complaints, But at the same time, I wish that people would see deeper, deeper enough to see how communism is dangerous. Communism and expansionism are like the bad like combination, So I hope that like they get the same sense. Yeah, it's hard to explain though, because it's a lot to do with geography. Japanese people, we are right next to South Korea, and China is just right there. And the way that we feel and the way that America feels are so different. And it's very obvious when you look at the different approaches to North Korea, for example. Japanese people or South Koreans, we can't tolerate anything more from North Korea, right? Because they can just attack us. But America really doesn't care as much as us, because it's all about a long-range missile that can reach America. As long as they don't have that, then America is fine, right? But not us. So there's a difference. So then with that difference, then those differences can be reflected in the policies that we have, and sometimes we can't be on the same exact page, if you know what I mean. But I guess that diplomatically, my country has to be smarter for that. But as for Steve Bannon, yeah, I think he's such a business-minded person too. very realistic too. But he has this good heart though. So that I was thankful. Like, you know how like Democrat types, seriously, like they say like, oh, tolerance, oh, diversity. Democrats are like diversity, but they are actually cold, oftentimes very like they can be discriminative. Just because I support Donald Trump, like I have received mean comments from those Democrats in America, so I know they are like they can be like racist too. So yeah, but not people from the conservative side. Like just like I said, I see the ACU chairman Mashulap. He's really nice. He's nice, a good, kind heart, and just welcoming. And also same for Steve Bannon. He's very, man, guys are big though, by the way. Like big Americans, like hello, So yeah, really good guys. But whoever understands the threat of China is my friend. So communist China, I mean, like Chinese people, really, it depends on each person, seriously. But like when it comes to Xi regime right now, it's really, really problematic. I know you guys don't like fighting, but America does not take shit from anyone, and not even China. I believe Trump will harm them. Yeah. I guess that there will be like side, what you call, like we will get caught up in the like strong tariff and so on too, but hopefully the damage is not strong enough for us. You and your husband are brave for speaking out on politics. The mission you are on is a good one. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. I wouldn't say that we don't want to support it. We want Europe to carry its weight as they are slowly starting to do so. Yeah, I agree. Russia lost its last war with Japan. They are still upset about it. Oh, actually, tonight, I'm sounding like an Australian. Tonight, there will be a TV series. It's a rerun, but it's about these guys that fought the Japan-Russia war back in 1904 to 5, and it's a series. So like those main characters, it's based on a novel, and the historical view is kind of biased, but still, it's a good show because it represents how Japanese people were fighting back then, and how they were ambitious, looking at the world, actually studying abroad too, in France, and the British people were here too. Like they depict all these things, like some of them were in China too, like a Manchuria area, and yeah, like you see a lot of stuff like that, and it's so nice. And tonight the war begins. So I'm really excited about it. Like, yeah, let's defeat Russia, Yeah. Japanese movies or TV series like that more, because like look at China, for example. Why, like Chinese people are really, if they are communists, like Chinese communists, they look down on Japan, calling Japan small, and calling us to be just stupid in general, just look down on us. And that is happening because they are brainwashing the people with especially the anti-Japanese movies. They're so creative. and they watch that a lot, I hear. So everything is exaggerated and everything. So yeah, it's scary how movies can be a weapon like that. But Japan should do the same, in my opinion. My friend actually, my friend in Fukuoka, he is interested in stuff like that. So I believe he's working on something. Like he made a play before about Yukio Mishima. I know that he will be doing more. Yeah. What do the Japanese think of the Middle Eastern countries like Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, etc.? We know that Dubai seems really fun, like rich people, but aside from that, we don't, like, before thinking about anything, we don't know anything about there, right? ね、中東のそっちの方知らないよね。ドバイとかサウジアラビアとかカタールとか日本人がどう思ってるか。
金持ち。
Sorry for the big loud voice. My husband said rich people. Yeah, that's all we know. Just rich people with oil money, right? I've seen some video from, I think it's Dubai. Like, it's super tall buildings. That scare me so much because that wouldn't happen here because we are made of volcanoes, like we have a lot of earthquakes that, like, tall buildings, even though our technology is advancing and we can bear the shake, well, way better than before, but still, like, that kind of like super tall buildings, that scares me. Don't, Yoko, remember, it's our democracy. Don't question it. Our democracy. Hello, my friend. You and your husband are awesome people. Thank you. Honestly, I enjoy watching your live stream. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. Yeah. We, the citizens, are with Japan, as I believe Trump will be, and your adversaries, enemies are our enemies. Yeah, Japan is strong and respected, in my opinion. Thank you so much. Thank you. What's good about today is that our environment is changing significantly with the help of AI. And so what's interesting, have I ever shared this with you? What's interesting today is that there are more and more Japanese people speaking up to people overseas using AI translations. The translation skills, technology has developed by far. It's way better than before. And it's natural. It can, it becomes natural as long as you input the correct Japanese, and if it's easy for the application to translate. But yeah, more people, Japanese people, are translating their Japanese into English using some, translation services, and they post on X and elsewhere. And so they're fighting, by their own now. So that's amazing, right? And even me, like, I can speak English like this, but still it's not, of course, it's not on a native level, especially when I write. Writing is so difficult because you have a writing culture as well. And there's always like difficult vocabs that are actually convenient. So like paraphrasing happens if you use that sort of services. But I've been testing them out, and I recently started to ask, like, either Grok or Gemini or whatever, like I ask them to correct my English grammar. And they do it perfectly, and I'm really thankful, because I think it's important to have good English, so that there will be less misunderstandings and people will open more if somebody speaks better, right? So yeah, so Japanese people are writing in English more on social media, so I think that's good. Yep. But what was funny is that my friend, my Japanese friend, she lives abroad, but she's back now, and we were hanging out the other day, and she told me that people are using like automatic translators now, and can you be quiet? My husband is making a growl sound for some reason. But anyway, my friend was saying that her like people around her, all of a sudden their English got better. And she's like, oh, definitely they're using the the translators, because there's no way that person you can know the vocab and blah blah blah. So like, that's sort of like small things are happening. Do you think China should be partitioned? What do you think is the correct solution long term? What is that word? Like separate? Gotta look it up. Partition. Bunretsu, bunkatsu, division, divided. Yes, that's what I want to do. I want Tibet, Uyghur, like East Turkestan and Southern Mongolia to get independent, so that China shrinks and there will not be a threat. And rather, like, they are trying to expand it to, which side is that? To the east, to the Japanese side, if you think of a map. Let me show you the map. Do you guys look at world map? Map. Just map. Wait for me. Where's the map? Dun, 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 dun. It's important that I have visuals for you. See? Japan is so tiny. Japan is here, and China is this big. But so they're trying to go this way, right? They want to expand this way, but Mongolia here, Tibet and Uyghur like here. So if they fight around those areas, then they can't come to the Pacific Oceans. They won't be able to afford it, right? So that's what I want to do. And also simultaneously, I want Chinese people, even though the surveillance is severe now with the development of technology in China, I want them to rise simultaneously as we pressure from the outside. I want them to rise one day, like nationally, so that they can defeat the Xi regime and then change the regime to democracy, like stop the communist regime, CCP-led regime, and then have a democracy. So that, it's going to take a while, and I bet that people will be there will be people sacrificed. They will have to fight their war inside, like civil war. But it's worth, I can't say it's worth it. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but as an outsider, that's the ideal for us, because we are thinking about ourselves. We don't want China to expand to our side, and I want them to do something about their country first, right? So that sort of things. just by if they have like border issues, that's good enough for us. As long as we can postpone the expansion, that's good. Um, the ideal situation would be China, the border issue between China and Russia rise again. They're somehow, cooperating now, but if we can somehow bring that up again, that'll be good. Also, Bacha, thank you. A well-protected public being necessary to the security of a free state, duty of people to keep and bear arms shall be enforced. Yes, sir. I'm working tonight again. Oh, catch the rerun. Thank you. Thank you always for your support. It's late over here in Texas, past midnight. Oh yeah, it was fun tuning in for a bit. Always love hearing stories about Japan-U.S. relations from someone so smart. Someone so smart. Thank you. On the subject, good night and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. You're going to sleep, I see. Have a good night. Thank you for coming and catch me again. The U.S. loves Japan. I don't think we like China that much, though. The Chinese culture is so different. I think Japan was similar to China in a way, like very deadly serious and so on. But China, like even Korea too, they have this very severe, you have to respect the elderly, and like we do too, but we are so casual. But Chinese mainland and also South Korea, so the culture is so severe. That scares me often. Also, thank you. Merry Christmas. Any chance of you following space news, especially focusing on Jaxa? I hear a little bit here and there on the news, like, oh, they, launched this missile, another one, or satellite, whatever. Like, whenever they launch something new, it gets on the news, and I kind of see it. I'm not, like, following it deeply, but yeah, recently it happened and it failed, right? Man, there was a case that I guess they were launching some kind of satellite or something, and it basically failed. But in science, failure never exists, right? Like, you learn what works and what doesn't, and that's how science works. But this media person, media reporter of Japanese company, he was asking questions to Jaxa people, and like asking what happened. Oh, so this happened and this happened. So does that mean that it's a failure? Like, you failed. And the people didn't clearly answer that, because they just showed how they think. And the reporter was like, oh, that's called failure in daily life. And we were like, huh? Some people can be rude too here in Japan. I'm back. What did I miss? Many things. Why doesn't Japan become more Christian? It would solve the population crisis almost immediately. Would it? I think it's difficult because we believe in many gods, yeah. Like, having only one god is, I think, for the majority of Japanese people, it's probably like we would understand by our brain, but like we don't feel it, kind of thing. Like, yeah, it's hard to say. Even though our religion is it's called Shinto, but it's more about daily lives and customs. Like, it's custom based, and we don't really think about gods and so on much. And fundamentally, what's most important for us is to be aware that everything has a soul or a spirit in it. As I said before, like, oh, this has some kind of spirit in it. even this glass of water, this glass is alive, sort of things. And our ancestors are watching over us, but not from like far away, but they're with us. like you like you see in Star Wars, like they in Star Wars the dead characters appear in like this like pale ghosts figure, right? So just like that, we feel like that in Japanese way of thinking or feeling. So yeah, and our religion doesn't have Bibles or anything too. I was reading about the book. I had to return it to the library. I have to borrow it again. But it was explaining how Japanese religion is based on nothingness or being vacant, for example. Like we don't have dogma. Is it called dogma? Like we don't have a Bible. We don't have like teachings or priests and so on. Like there are people that take care of shrines, but it's not like they preach us, like they do in Christian churches. And it's more about the community, And when you go to our shrines, there's basically nothing there. Like it's so hard to explain, but it's nothing there. And also even the shrine itself, even though there are some sacred places throughout Japan historically, if you go back in ancient time of Japan, it seems that they were hiding from what's out there, and there are some spaces between the rock or something, and they were doing it there in the powerful spot, but somewhere that your deities or gods cannot see. So they didn't even build shrines. They just did it where they can do it. So again, so the buildings don't even exist. So like there's a nothingness or the vacant situation. I don't know how to explain that, but yeah. So like what I'm trying to say is that the way that we perceive things are just like fundamentally different from Christian-based thinking, you know what I mean? The way that we look at the world is just different. But Japanese people are tolerant, and we just rather fear, like I don't know how you guys think about gods. Oh, you believe in like it's what's the word in English? Is it not resurrection? Kyusai. I can't type. Where is the tourniquet or what was it? Relief? Rescue? Salvation. You believe in salvation. We don't have that concept either. We pray for our deities or gods or ancestors to save us sometimes, but that's more of a communication, like what you do with the real people too. Like, oh, I hope he does this or that. Just like that. Oh, I hope that our ancestors do this for us, So that's not really like salvation type of thing too. Yeah. A lot of different ways. I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah. Anyway, I'm happy that Trump won, but I just want 2024 to end, not that it's been a bad year. Yeah, I want the refreshness, New Year's are so cool because now, like, if you look at the phone, it's already like 12, right? Like, that's a lot of number. It just said December for me. I set my phone as English to get used to English thinking. But like the numbers pile up, and I want a fresh one. It's a simple one. Go back and so on. Hey everyone, hello. population crisis comes from the population all moving to the cities where it is expensive to have children. Yeah, that's true. That's so true. If they just stick to rural area, they can actually afford it. No need to invest in more rural areas to give opportunity to rural residents. Need to. Yeah, that's so true. Our current prime minister actually wants to balance things out in entire Japan. Yeah, that's sometimes what LDP politicians do too, because it's tied to like construction rights. Like it's not like an interest too. If you build like new roads or new buildings, like it's you let the construction workers to do the job. So that means money. So that happens sometimes, but yeah, it's ridiculous that people want to move to the cities to, I don't know why, for jobs, or I was born and raised here in this prefecture, Fukuoka. All my life I've been here. So I don't know, I don't understand how people in rural areas think. Yeah. I wish that they would be proud of where they are from, you know? Like rather than coming to the big cities, like why don't they talk to the politicians there and make their own place a city, a big city, you know, like invite all these big companies or corporations, or either make a big road to have an easy access with the city, or maybe invite bullet trains, for example. Like they can do a lot of things. And in rural areas, you just have this enormous vast land, so you can do anything, you know. But here, like where we live, for example, it became a big city a long time ago, so like everything is already here. So if you want to expand the roads, you know, for cars, the roads are too narrow and it can fit like 2 lanes right now. So we want to expand the width, like we want it to be wide. But there are people that are living, or that have business, like small businesses, stores on the side of the roads. So they're not going away because it's their right. So it's so hard. If this was a dictatorship country, then the dictator can order and they would just leave, right? But it's not gonna happen in democratic country. So we have to wait for those people to, you know, accept or die out. You know what I mean? So it's such a process. So rather than that, like it's convenient but not convenient enough in this generation. So I'm like, why don't you do that in your rural area? But they don't do that. So passive people. Jesus is our Father. Cool. Yeah, it's really nice to have, you know, somebody in the spiritually, like always there for you, you know. It's what I usually think of are my ancestors, but so it's a little different for me, but basically doing the same thing, you know, like, yeah. But I guess in your picture it's like God, and then probably I'm praying for here or something. Yeah. Very narrow. Good night. Are you going to sleep? Have you heard about that Indian CEO said yes? Yes. Oh, I need to share that story with you. So I was sharing the news about the Kameda Seka Corporation. That place makes like a snacks, basically. It's not snacks, what you call it, like a rice based crackers and so on. So basically like sweets and so on. It's not sweet, but like salty versions. I don't know how to explain. But that company's CEO is now Indian, even though it's a Japanese company making Japanese foods, but the head is now Indian, and the Indian said that Japan should, he has a Japanese, he naturalized to Japan though it seems, and he's a Japanese national, but from India, looks Indian too, and mentioned that Japan should, it's for Japan according to him, but he basically said that Japan needs more immigrants, basically, like diversity, I guess. And then the stock, it's in a big like stock market thing. It's probably just a little bit of a difference, but still the commentary happened and then it dropped. The stocks dropped. So people were sharing the news, and I shared the news with my friend, that I talked about earlier the other day. She lives overseas, so we were talking about it, and then she told me that, oh, that's right. Like she said, like, oh, no wonder it tastes horrible now. Like and she said like, oh, this other brand tastes better, she said. So it's no wonder, like other people too on X, they are sharing that, oh, the taste is bad now, like it deteriorated now, and they're not buying anymore because the taste changed, Same for Oreo, I think they are now made in China, but 10 years ago or so, I think they switched to Korea at the time. As far as I remember, maybe it was Korea, maybe China, I don't remember, but it was not in Japan. I used to love Oreo in Japan, made in Japan Oreo, or elsewhere, I don't know where it was made, but I originally liked Oreo, but one day I bought it and ate it, and I'm like, bleh. It was horrible in my mouth. And I'm like, oh, I'm never buying Oreos again, But I'm realizing that it's a lot to do with, where they make the products and so on. And probably when they change the factories, I don't know what happens, in the field, but I'm only guessing. But my guess is that they are changing things around with the ingredients and so on, right? To make it more efficient for the money, probably. So 4.5 hours past my normal bedtime. Really? Oh no. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate it so much. You're from Fukuoka? Yes. Not far from my favorite places in Japan. Kanmon Street, Kitakyushu, Shimonoseki. Why do you like that place? This historical place though, where like back in the day there was this woman that carried her child and went into the water to die, I think. I'm not a history person, so I don't know exactly, but their stock went down. Yes, it did. Shinto and Christianity don't necessarily contradict each other. Yeah, Christians sometimes pray to their ancestors for intercession to God. Ooh, interesting. I also heard their food is made in China, which is also a region their stock went down. Yeah. Anybody try Canadian Oreos? Where do they make that? Oh, somebody should make a video of tasting all the Oreos in the world and make a ranking. That would be fun. I'll be too scared because did you see the video that I shared on X? That somebody was using a burner, like a fire, to Oreo. I don't know if it's true, like I can't tell online, but it doesn't melt. I also heard Gak said in Twitter he wants Japan's borders to stay closed. Yeah, I share that. Yes, yes. It's not realistic, and he knows that it's not realistic to close the borders for us now. But I think that, but at least like Japanese people learn the lessons through COVID-19 that we were so dependent on other countries for our everyday needs. You know that like globalism does help in a way, but like in critical situations like that, you know, who knows, like just like Ukraine situation, like the oil or what you call like your main foods, you know, bread and so on. Like it's like the ingredients of bread. I don't know how to call that in flour, and so on. That there are things that you must not miss on in everyday life, but it's threatened like that. And also, what China does, though, for example, is that they often threaten other countries by saying like, "Oh, we will stop the import or export of this product," and they use that sort of things to threaten other countries like Japan or Taiwan. And if we can sustain our living inside our country, then we don't have to deal with that, right? That sort of threats. We could be like, okay, right? That'll be ideal. So yeah, there are many people that are thinking about the problems of globalism, you know. So that's a good thing too. And also, you know, what's interesting is that back in the day we weren't so globalist, right? Like each country was minding their own business, and we had foods here, you know. And somehow, for Japan at least, like our Japanese things are expensive now because of globalism, because China has cool quantity. So they pressure other countries with prices. Basically, they can make it cheaper. So your own products become more expensive relatively. So yeah, I hope that that ends, you know, with our generation. Yeah, but I hope that with, you know, with Trump in the White House, I hope that he can drill more so that America becomes a you know, like a resourceful country, so that it will be a game changer in the world. It's really silly. Like Japan too, we have to dig into the ocean, you know, deep inside. China is doing that around Japan illegally, so that's no good. But Japan should hurry up and do that so that we don't have to depend on, you know, Middle East and so on. So yeah, I'm wishing I'd move back to Japan in 2025. Cool. What was your thoughts about SoftBank CEO spending 100 million in America? Trump won 200. What did the Japanese media say about it? I didn't actually check that news because that is the CEO, Mr. Son. He's Korean in Japan. He's not even Japanese. And he has this tendency to sell his name every time something big happens. So in 2011, when the great earthquake happened in around Fukushima, like you remember Fukushima disaster, when that happened, he was like, "Oh, I will collect all your money," right? So he wanted donations to give to the people in the affected area. He did that. And if I remember correctly, he got the money, but we don't know where it went or something like that. Like something about him is sketchy. And his service, SoftBank, it's a cell phone company, right? Maybe they have other services too, but we recognize them as a cell phone company, and their service sucks. It gets disconnected often, and what they sell, like for homes, for example, I think they have like a neuro, like they have this packaged service, that's really like the internet is fast and so on. It's not always the case, and I hear bad things about their service too. So like, if you like, when you keep hearing all these rumors about their service, poor service, and also a sketchy move by him and so on, we don't trust that guy. So, but if he is bringing up the reputation of Japan, or if he is helping Trump, that's good, I guess. But I personally do not trust him. So I don't know. But Trump probably knows how to deal with rich people. So I'm not worried about that situation. But if you ask conservative people about SoftBank, they probably have the similar reactions as me, probably. How can Japan have a population crisis when you Japanese women are so pretty? You should tell that to all the women here. Yeah. It is so silly. Do you think that it has things to do with like more women in the society? Because back in the day, they were complaining, like feminists were complaining that women are not given the same rights to study or to get a job and so on. But because of that, women are enjoying their own lives, and that's cool, but it delays the time of their marriage, and because they want to experience things first, and so they want to make a foundation first and then have family. That's their logical mind. But that gets in the way because we are only humans and we have this biological timer, right? And the world has developed recently, but it's only a recent thing if you look at the human history of thousands of years long, So we haven't adjusted yet because it's only been like decades or a few centuries or whatever. So it's delaying, and then people plan like the Planned Parenthood and so on from the left side. It's like, oh, you have to plan, you have to be responsible, and all that sort of things, and they shame you too if you're not prepared enough or responsible enough. They shame you, and so women are more reluctant to have babies at the right time. I think it just doesn't happen in that way, right? That's what I think. So yeah, and Japanese people, I think they want to get married, but often, what was the ratio? There was a survey in Japan recently. I'm pretty sure I shared that on X, but like if you ask young people here, they want to have a partner, but they don't know how to find them, or they don't know what to do with them. Like the number was big too. So silly. And simultaneously though, people speak ill of our like traditional ways to get married, like arranged marriages, for example. My parents were arranged, but my dad was so picky that I think he tried like 5 or 6 cases, arranged marriage. Like, ask his parents and other people to find his right girl, you know. He had to look for many times. How meet together? No. Meet together? No. Meet another? No. And he repeated like many times. And then my mom came. And she was gorgeous. She's so pretty when she was young. So my face is a mixture with my dad, so that's why I'm like unbalanced. But my mom is beautiful. So then they got married, arranged marriage, and they have a happy life. I'm a happy child, right? Like we have so much fun at my parents that, yeah, like I'm so lucky to have my parents. So yeah, and my dog. A peaceful family, you know. And it's arranged. And people say bad things about arranged marriage. I'm like, what do you know, right? Because you can reject it. You can turn it down if you don't like the people, you know. But if you depend on the people around you, then usually the family level is similar, or you know, the similar personality people get together in a community usually. So it just works out better instead of swiping, right? With swiping, you have no idea what the person is, right? Or whether even the person is safe. Who knows if the person has a criminal background whatsoever. But with arranged marriages, it doesn't happen because it's based on the real life reputation and so on. So I support things like that, but people nowadays, man, they don't know the values of all this amazing history. Wait, I've been talking for such a long time. If no super chat, I have to end this stream and I have to let you guys sleep too.
Christmas present.
Yeah, Christmas present. I'll be looking for. Somebody gave me the 50, the Gestalt gave me that. Thank you. Happy Merry Christmas. Wait, I need a screenshot time for myself. I'm gonna screenshot this later and post it on post it on X for myself. Yay! I do that often. It's like screenshot time. Maybe I should be holding this to make the vibe. I wish I could connect this. Hey husband さん、あの電気の白い電気ね、最近買ったあの電気の根っこのあれを持ってきてくれね。あれ USB が刺さるんだ。I know how to use my husband. Thank you. My husband is so nice. Okay. Now you guys get ready. I'm gonna pour some energy into this so that it's gonna get shiny, okay? Ta-da! Do you see the color? Yes! Screenshot time! Yes. Cool, right? It's a little dusty though. Anyway, happy Merry Christmas. I don't think Trump is serious about acquiring Canada. I don't think so either. Yeah. There's a rumor that he was actually serious. Seriously? That's scary. I mean, he's a madman. You never know what he actually means. And he's a rich man who gets what he wants. So, yeah. Birth issue is economic. Yeah, I agree. It feels hopeless to get a stable job, buy a house, a car, etc. for many people, especially young men who need to provide for the family. Yeah, it's like simultaneously women today, like young women today, they're so demanding. They they think that, like, I think we have spoiled women in the world, don't you think? I'm a female myself, but at least I'm conservative and I know my limits, like I let, like, Japanese culture is interesting. Like, we intentionally Japanese women, we let men have a good time, or just it's so difficult to translate that culture. Like, let the man shine intentionally. We do that because, like, we step aside a little bit to show his dignity and so on, if you know what I mean. So just like Melania is doing that intentionally or unintentionally. Like, she's there as a gorgeous wife, right, next to Trump, but she's not loud, or assertive. Like, she's just there from behind, smiling beautifully and that sort of stuff. So that's similar to what we have here. Um, But yeah, it's so true about the economy, like, because it is shown in our poll that it is an economic thing. Because when you, in the long run, I think that there is some cultural or social problem, because it's happening throughout the world. But at the same time, what's happening throughout the world is the economy, because of, especially after the war breakout, the economy regularly. Like, rich people are exceptions, but ordinary, just regular people, we're having a hard time, right? Just to live. Everything is expensive now, and it really sucks for young people now. They don't have a dream. Like, I remember being young, like a teenage years of my life. I was so, like, like, I had a lot of hopes and bright future, and also the gears, like the little mechanics that you can get, like your cell phone or your digital camera or audio stuff, all these things were getting developed, and you just had this expectations and dreams about it, like, what the future life would look like and so on, like a lot of hopes and dreams. But today, we don't have that anymore. It's so dark and it's so plain, and yeah, it's so weird today. I think that arranged marriage thing is hated because people think they don't have a choice in the matter. True, 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 true. Probably they don't have a good relationship with their parents. That's the most fundamental, important, critical problem. I believe love hotels are a factor too. Oh yeah, since it costs that much to take baby time, the walls are too thin in Japan. I don't know about that, but I don't know. I rather heard that, it's like raising children became difficult in Japan after the World War II. We lost the war, and America had influence on our society, right? Like, they wanted to basically Americanize Japan, but simultaneously weaken Japan. And Japan's strength was just like in other Asian countries. We had a big family. Like, when you live in a house, you have a few generations inside the same, like, sectored land, right? So, like, basically, so you have you have children, and then you can have your grandparents take care of your children, like their grandchildren, and in the meantime you can work. They'll take care of them, and in the meantime the children can learn the wisdoms from the elderly, right? Your parents' generation. And the parents' generation have to play with those kids, so they have to be alert, and also, like, they have to be clear in the mind and brain, right? So it's a good movement for their brain as well. So they can't really age. So yeah. And then you have to, of course, like women had to cook and clean and do everything simultaneously. But still, they had women in the same household. So they could help each other. Of course, there were problems too, but at least living was not that difficult back then because they just had each other, right? And their relatives would be living in the neighborhood too. So they, of course, like in some families, they have issues with each other too. But at the same time, they could rely on each other. So nowadays, what's happening with couples today, like married couples today in Japan, is that they visit their families all the time. It's so ridiculous. Like they could live with their parents, or in the neighborhood or something, right? But no, they somehow choose to live somewhere so far. But the good case would be just within the same prefecture or something. But still, they would get on a car and go to, they have to drive to that place and then, hang out or have their parents take care of their children and so on. And so that happens often now. I see that often because, of course, my friends, they have children and I see them going through that. But it's kind of ridiculous when you compare that with like past lives, right? Mm-hmm. I had the best Christmas in Japan because all I did is go to work. What? You like working? He's trolling through the. He definitely is. Melania is pro-choice though. She is. The knowledge is passed down through the families. Yeah. Just tune in. You came here. I have to end this stream. I'm speaking forever. If no super chat, I have to end this, man. Yep. This this Christmas tree is awesome, right? Yay. Okay. Should I go? I don't think so. What else? Anything else to talk about? I'm sharing a lot on X, but because I am on X so much, I'm not reading the newspaper and so on as often. That's not good. And also my eyes are getting tired because I'm like staring at the phone all the time. She's very pro-choice. She says it in her book. Wow. Isn't that amazing though, that even though she has her own opinion, Trump doesn't try to change her or whatever, and she doesn't go crazy to Trump? That's interesting. Or maybe she had to say it to balance things out. If I think politically, if she says that, then the leftists bash Trump, but they can't bash them as much if Melania is like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. Will you still go to KFC? Should I? If you give me super chat. Yeah. I don't know if I can take the oil though. Like fried stuff is so tasty, but at the same time it's not good for your stomach. So I don't know. But oil goes to your brain the most, right? Your brain is made of oil, right? Or I mean fat. So KFC was pretty intense. Yeah, if you buy like a ballot, yeah. I was thinking it was a balancing thing too, but either way, she should not support abortion even if it's fake. Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, I seriously, what I don't understand is that this like sexual intercourse is now such a casual thing, right? It's supposed to be like accidents happen because we are all like guided, right? It happens. No matter how careful you are, like you can wear something, right? Guys can wear that, but still it's like 90% protection. It's not, sometimes, accidents happen and so on. And you have to be ready for that, right? Or at least like in America, I bet that you have medicines that so-called like what, a morning after or something that you can take those to like that pill is scary enough for me, but like at least like you have that sort of options too, right? Like I personally don't like that sort of medicines, but at least they have that sort of stuff. And also like you should do it with a person that you can have accidents with. Like, I believe that we are made this way to, like, when you do it, like you are supposed to feel like you are wired to feel good because it's such a beautiful and also meaningful thing that you are doing to give a life, give a birth, right? It's such a sacred thing, in my opinion. And I feel like humanity has kind of failed it, even though it was supposed to mean something big. Now it's just, I want to feel good. And they just open. And then they face the consequences. And they are like, let's kill it. So weird how we look at lives. And those type of people bash like wars, for example, because human rights matter, right? Like if you care about human rights, I don't know why you could do that to your own body. I personally, like, I'm a female, and it grosses me out when I picture myself getting an abortion. It's so weird. Like why? Like why would you artificially do that sort of things? Like I get it if the woman is in danger of her life. That's something that you gotta do something about it. In my opinion, that's my Japanese perspective. But other than that, I just don't, like, I can't. I'm a Shinto person, right? So in Shinto, as I said, everything has a soul or spirit in it. So even like, I actually don't like flowers when they serve you with the cut flowers, as gifts and so on. I like there's this plant here too, but it's in the bowl. They have the roots, but often like they have bouquet, right? Flowers, chop the flowers and gift it to other people. I feel so bad for those plants, those flowers and so on. It's beautiful, but I'm like, why would you do that? I have that way of thinking because those flowers are there just minding their own business. Just cut. Yeah. But I mean, we have our little plants at the mini shrine too, though. I mean, humans are just like this, but but because of that, we should make it minimum, right? Anyway, what am I saying? I should probably go. It's also casual in the Roppongi district where they line up, right? I'm so I'm so embarrassed of them. So silly. Like people have lost their common sense, seriously. Yeah. I'm glad that I didn't. Like it really matters to, like what's really important though is to fall in love deeply, like genuinely. Like I met this guy and it changed my entire life. He's smiling right now. He's grinning. But seriously, after I met my husband, my world just changed. And, you know, I can't explain it well, but I need to be with this guy. And if possible, I want to have that gene on this earth as long as it can, you know. What were you doing? Tamago? My husband just boiled the eggs like so ultra hard. My husband boiled the eggs for an hour. Okay. I don't know how the water kept the volume though. 危ない。爆発するとこやだね。火上がったらね。Wow, we are protected. It didn't become a fire. See, we've been talking for too long that the boiled eggs, it was gonna be burned. 食べれんのかなAnyway, I gotta go, guys. Thank you so much for sticking out. I gotta take care of those eggs. Yeah. Talking about the importance of lives, and we are almost ruining the eggs. I feel bad. It's living is difficult. They're now boiled rocks. Maybe I gotta go see. I'm curious to see the inside. Yeah. There was a lady selling flowers on the street in Nagasaki. Oh. Yeah, flowers. Like if you having a bowl, what you call it, like with the roots. How do you say that? Uekibachi. How do you say uekibachi? Uekibachi. 英語 Flower pot. My husband has been working, by the way, in front of me, and his mind is so, like, he's thinking about a lot of things at the same time. So he probably forgot to set a timer. Flower pot. So flower pots are good. Like, if those are alive, you know, like this is good. Yep. A Gaijin girlfriend in Roppongi has a body count higher than my 1 month's rent. Man, those people that sell their body, I don't know how they do it, because it's like you get germs and so on inside your body. Like, I care about hygiene. So in Japan, by the way, what it's called, and I'm really, like, the economy is bad, and I think it's the consequences of that, because if you can have a decent job and get paid well, you don't have to sell your body, right? Some people are lazy, but you know what I mean. What was I here for? I'm such a grandma. I'm like, open my phone. I'm like, oh, what was I here for? Oh, now I remember. Some people have, syphilis. Yeah, syphilis is a thing. Like, you get a lot of things on, yeah. And it's a problem now in Japan. It's the number is rising. I bet that it has a lot to do with those services, Yeah. And for foreigners, like Chinese people buy Japanese girls too. So for an hour or whatever. So that transmits. Yeah. Yes. Are eggs still just 100 yen for 10 eggs in Japan? 今卵はいくらですか？卵はいくらですか？ 10 個で。10個で。200円。200 yen. My husband always go buy the eggs. Like he's in charge of the eggs. So I don't know the prices. I know the other vegetables and so on, but my husband somehow he likes to take care of the eggs. So he said 200 yen. Use a hammer so you don't break your teeth on the eggs. Yeah, I'm scared. The Eggman, yeah. Trump is the tariff man. My husband is the Eggman. I'm the Santa woman. Gangster Al Capone died due to complications of syphilis. Seriously? Baidoku. Can that kill people? Oh, that's scary. When I imagine. Huh? Untouchable. Oh. Untouchable. Have you seen Untouchable? I don't remember. Like sometimes I get confused with movies, like which movie is what. How Japanese celebrate Christmas? We eat a whole cake. And Christmas decorations and have trees like this at home. But this is super tiny, but usually people have.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Are we going to eat?
No.
No. Yes, Japanese people somehow like to order KFC fried chicken, Kentucky Fried Chicken. They go to KFC. Seriously, they line up. If you look for KFC, Yoko Ishii, my name, and Fox News, you probably get a hit. I answered Fox News questions before to talk about KFC. I had to do a research to do that interview. I'll be, KFC stores, this many in Japan, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But anyway, I gotta go. Yeah, champagne and cake. Oh. And when I was little, my parents left Christmas gifts beside my pillow. And so I seriously believed in Santa Claus when I was very, very little. But then one day I saw this wrapped gifts in my dad's room. I asked my mom what are these? What is this? And look at it and kind of saw through the wrapping paper. And then my mom said, because somebody is in the hospital, we're going to give the gift to them, she said. Days later, I received the same thing from Santa. And I'm like, ding, ding, ding. Yeah, we don't have Christmas tree. We did have a fairly big Christmas tree at home, but we don't have the culture to put gifts underneath. It's usually, at least my area in Japan, our parents leave Christmas gifts beside our pillows and pretend that Santa, visited them while they were sleeping. Yep. I'm sure the chickens are more healthy in Japan. Yeah, I think so. Than just have hormone plus chickens in the US. The US and also in China is crazy. But I actually often consume, I eat American beef or sometimes, not pork, beef. American beef is sold in our grocery stores. But Australian or New Zealand kinds are more. I think we see them more here, I think. At least in the grocery stores that I go. Because they can be like expensive grocery stores and so on, but the ones that we go, usually New Zealand, like America, New Zealand, Australia, and as for fish, it's like Norway. Back in the day, it was Russian, yeah, and so on. But Norway, Finland, somewhere around there for fish, and they are freezed, and yeah. Anyway, well, I'm sure the chickens are more healthy. Oh yeah. Oh, and also I think the U.S. Military, I think they will drop some gifts in Japan as well. Operation something. They do that often, or I mean every year. So, yeah. Anyway, no more super chat. So, we gotta go. My husband has been working so hard, he's talking to himself. I'm talking to myself too. But found the gift in the closet. Oh, Japanese love American beef, yeah. You miss Nobita's old content? He changed. Turkey is not that popular there. Yeah, we don't eat turkey. We don't even eat sheep, like lamb or mutton. I love lamb or muttons. Oh, so good. But Japanese people somehow don't eat them. But it's gradually, finally, it's coming into Japan. Yeah. By the way, Japan has a lot of Costco. Costco, the store Costco. It recently opened another in my prefecture. There are two, I think, in my prefecture. I never go because I don't have a car. But yeah, somebody wrote on X saying that Japan doesn't have the influence of America. But actually, when the war ended, the World War II ended, and we were occupied, and then like we had a small like what we call shotengai, meaning like a lot of stores on a narrow street, like meat place, fish place, vegetable, like all this small, is it retail, like small stores, and they were selling that, and that was where we would go instead of grocery stores and so on. So, but then after America's influence, the big mall type came, like not just grocery store, but like malls came to town. So that destroyed the small, like traditional Japanese stores. Yeah. And then we are now used to malls, like, oh, we can live with that, right? Like a little bit more globalism because of like they want to sell cheaper. So now the prices are going down, but like it's actually the quality is going down as well, if you know what I mean, because things are made in China or other Asian countries and so on. And now we have Costco. And Japanese people are buying, like not everyone goes there, of course, but there are some fans of like Western things. And also like you can get different things there, so a lot of people go there. Again, it's cool, but at the same time it does have like everything has two sides, so it's again affecting our life as well. I personally enjoy it, but when you think about it politically, there are concerns too. So because it will affect like customers can only pay for certain we have the limit of our consumption, right? So it's a competition. So yeah. Anyhow, I keep talking, man. I gotta go. I gotta go. They put malls everywhere in Japan. Yes, they did. Bring your husband to camera. Let him say hi to your audience.
Hi.
No, here.
No, no.
No, no.
No.
ここにちょろっと来たいじ
No.
ゃん。Why? Oh, he's shy. He's a shy Japanese. こんにちは。
こんにちは。
こんばんは。
こんばんは。
Show your face. Oh.
Yeah.
My husband doesn't want to come. Maybe next time. He's dressed and everything, though. I don't know why he's self-conscious today. Anyway, thank you guys. And happy Merry Christmas. Next week. Oh, yeah. We can still have a live stream next week, I think. So, yeah. If you miss me, just, let's have conversations on X. Okay. Have a good night. Thank you so much for sticking to the end. Okay. I'm gonna go. Have a good, happy Merry Christmas, okay? For me. Okay. Bye-bye. Drop your X. It's Random Yoko. Just Random Yoko. Okay. Bye-bye. Good night. Bye.